Good morning, CC families. Let's go over what we did in class for Cycle 3, Week 19. This starts our new unit with Orchestra for Fine Arts and our composers. We also had the privilege of having 3 additional students from Rosalind's class, so it was fun to have them. And I will try to post this on both Rosalind's classroom page and ours. I like to go over what we did in class. And just a quick recap. Again, since this is orchestra, for the next 6 weeks, you may bring a small pillow or blanket to lay your head on when we listen to the orchestra music. We are also doing the map challenge, which is a 2-for-1 deal this week. So for each map you draw or trace or whatever it is that your mom qualifies for a map for you, you will get 2 points for that. So good job. My class earned another small eraser surprise because as a total class, they brought in another 50 maps. So that took them, I think that was like 2 weeks to get to 50 maps for our entire class. So they did really good. As a community, we have almost 300 maps. So keep bringing them in. You guys are doing great. I also set up a challenge for before class started for any of the tutors who had kids there. If your kiddo ended up with an extra eraser, it's because they completed our 10-minute workout. So I'll be bringing that as a way for them to earn an extra prize either during lunchtime or before class starts to help get the wiggles out. So what did we do? We did history. Tell me about NATO. In 1949, the United States, remember this is our melting pot, and its allies, shaking hands, formed NATO, N-A-T-O, NATO, N-A, I think this is T-T-O, pretty sure, formed NATO to resist the spread of Soviet communism. And that's how we did our motions for history. For timeline, I always pass these out. We say what is on the front of the card, our timeline card. We could do the motions and then we put it on like the whiteboard and we review it. So Lincoln's War between the states. Lincoln's War between the states. Reconstruction of the southern states. That is this one. Reconstruction of the southern states. And we're just doing like they're building. Reconstruction of the southern states. Dominion of Canada. Dominion of Canada. We're going to pretend like they've got a big heavy coat on and they go like that with their coat. Dominion of Canada. Otto Bismarck unifies Germany. So we can say O, Otto Bismarck unifies Germany. And this is our sign for Germany. It stands for the golden eagle that used to be on their flag, or is, I'm not sure if it's current or it used to be. But anyway, at some point, Germany had a golden eagle on their flag. So we do this for Germany. Unifies Germany. Boer wars in Africa. Boer wars, B wars. And then you can do an A hand for Africa and like trace it as if you're tracing the continent of Africa. Boer wars in Africa. Somewhere, I believe it's the Spanish-American War, which I don't have that timeline card for right now. So you can just do, I think it's, this is A. So anyway, Spanish-American War. You do the S hand. This is, yeah, S. Now I'm confused. Anyway, you do the S hand and then the A hand for Spanish-American War. Or you can do your cape like a matador, Spanish-American War. It's just a lot of hands if you do the signs that we've used before for Spanish-American. But you can do it. The Spanish-American War, the Progressive Era. So you just see that I'm building my hands out in front of each other. The Progressive Era. All right, that's it. Trails for our geography. We did trails and we traced these trails with our tracing paper and pencils, and then we traced them with our markers, and we did not use Waldo this week. So, all right, here we are. We're looking at our trails. Cumberland Trail is going to be over here, and then we come all the way into Illinois, my Cumberland Trail. Okay. Then we have our Santa Fe Trail. Santa Fe Trail starts here in Missouri, comes down. Once you get to this point, after you cross the Arkansas River, you have two ways that you can go. You can go the north route, which is called the mountain route, which is wet and mountainous, or you can go the dry trail or the lower trail, which is this path. This path is dry. They might not have any water for several days, and it's filled with Native Americans who might attack you. So right here at your Arkansas River, you got to make a choice on your Santa Fe Trail. Which way are you going? Okay, so if we go to the end of our Santa Fe Trail, then we have some other trails that connect. Remember, all of these used to be trade routes for the Native Americans and early hunters. And so that's where these trails are coming from. We have the Gila Trail, which starts here, goes up in here to the Sonora Desert. And we have our Old Spanish Trail, which is this loop here, our Old Spanish Trail. And then if we go back here into Illinois, we have our Mormon Trail. The Mormon Trail goes all the way out to, you guessed it, Salt Lake City. And our Mormon Trail crosses paths at some point with our Oregon Trail. So our Oregon Trail is over here. We're going to literally almost be on the exact same road with the Mormon Trail until we get to the start of the Rocky Mountains, where the Mormons go into Utah. And we are going to go up into Oregon all the way to the very top. And I love it because it ends in a circle or an O, making it really easy to identify that that is the Mormon Trail. The last one that we can look at is our... No, we don't. We don't look at the California Trail. Maybe not this week, maybe not ever. This map is from when we had the 4th edition. So sometimes there's a few things on it that don't make the cut for the 5th edition. But that is our trails. All right. Then we had math. The area of a circle equals pi times the radius square. I printed these out and I said we're going to color the entire area of the circle as fast as we can. And so that was the goal here. We do need to point out that if they do Memory Masters, they need to know that pi equals 3.14. So the area of a circle equals pi times the radius square. And then we say pi equals 3.14. And there's a really fun mnemonic to remembering pi. And it's like, how I wish I could remember all the numbers in pi. I think that's what it is. Wyatt would know, my oldest.
It's how I wish I could calculate pi.
There we go. How I wish I could calculate pi. And then that helps you remember, like, how is 3, like 3 letters. So the first one is 3. I is 1 letter. So the second letter number in pi is 1. Wish is 4 letters, and so that is the 3rd number in pi. How I wish I could calculate pi. Anyway, and if you continue to work that out, it'll be pi. Okay, fun fact. Next, we did sentence parts, the predicate. The predicate is the part of the sentence that says something about the subject. It's a mouthful. We did a puzzle again, cut it out, seemed to work a little bit better. It was a smaller puzzle for them to do. So this is what I did. I printed it out and everybody had a turn to work their puzzle. And then we passed it to the next group of kids and they put the puzzle together and we said it. So hopefully that was fun. Then we did Latin with Megan and big group, and then we went over it at Tenebrae, Em non comprehender in the darkness. Did not comprehend it. I think she went like, comprehend it not, or not comprehend it. So those are the motions for Latin. Science, we did, I have it on my thing and it's different than what we actually did in science. Oh, donate, tell me the difference between an acid and a base, I think is actually what it is. And it would be an acid donates a hydrogen ion while a base accepts a hydrogen ion. And we went over that this is a sentence that goes in alphabetical order. So A for acid goes first, B for base goes second. So you start with your acid and you have to donate something in order for someone to accept it. So my acid donates a hydrogen ion while my base, once it's been donated, he can go, thank you, I'll accept it. That's my base. And we played a game called Sparkle with that. So sparkle is where you take, we have a wand, but I'll use this. Each person has a word of the sentence. An acid donates a hydrogen ion, and you go around until you get to the last person who says base accepts a hydrogen ion, and then you would take the person next to you and go sparkle, and they would be out. So we have a magic wand that lights up, and then that person would be out. Presentations, we went over like 4 or 5 times in a very silly way to not start your presentation with my name is or hi, I'm, because we all know each other. And so they were so giggly and they thought it was so funny that I would stop them if they started with hi, my name is Leanne, right? And so then we also are working on not saying, do they say presentating, or I think they say I don't know. It's so funny to me. But we are also not saying what we are presenting on. I want an attention getter. I want a question. I want a joke. I want something that grabs our attention without saying, hi, my name is, or I'm presentating, or my presentation today is. And I even told him, I said, you could change it and say, I researched, or today I brought. And so that worked out really well. I think Maddie brought in like a bracelet set. So she was like, today I brought in to show you. And I was like, yes, we did it. Okay. So keep working with them on that. If we can get that solidified in their brains that when they start a speech, they don't start with, hi, my name is, I am presentating on, I will feel like we have reached a victory. So keep working with them. They're so cute. They're having so much fun with it. And we even talked about using funny voices for specific like comedic value to our speeches. So if they want to add that next week, it'll be fun to see what they come up with. All right, that's too long for me. Fine arts, we did our composers. This was a very quick introduction to the Romantic and the Modern period. Debussy, or Claude Debussy, but if it's French, we say Debussy, is modern. So we're going to talk about him more in depth. We did Tchaikovsky, and we will do, he's more of a romantic. We will talk about him more in depth with, I think he is Symphony number 6, I think. And then Stravinsky, I think, is the Rite of Spring. I'm looking for validation on the back of this card, so I could have it wrong. But either way, these are our 3 composers we're going to work on this week. We also went over an orchestra pit, what an orchestra pit looks like, what is the proper seating for our 2 instruments that we worked on. My class is doing the violins, and so we talked about the orchestra song, which is this song right here, and I'm going to sing it for you just so you have an idea of how it goes. The violin singing like lovely ringing, the violin singing like lovely song. Okay, so that is the violin part. Then Rosalind's class had the clarinets, so we passed out these. The clarinet goes doodle 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 dat. The clarinet goes doodle 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 dat. So we broke into our parts, we reviewed our song. We will add to the rest of the community who has the other parts. I think it's on week 23 or 24, but our job right now is to learn those parts for our orchestra song. I will try to find a link for that song. It is, if you bought the CDs for your Foundations curriculum, it is on those CDs. And I think it's like the last one that like I never use. So I'll try to verify and find out exactly which CD it's on and what number it is. But the orchestra song is there somewhere. And I'll look for it as well. We did probability for science, so we flipped a coin and we talked about the probability that it would land on both a heads and a tail. So if I flip the coin and it lands on both heads and tails at the same time, that's a 0 probability. It's never going to happen. However, if I flip a coin and I landed on a heads, and my option was that it could land on a heads or a tails, then that would be a half or a 50. If it was I wanted it to land on either the heads or the tails, and I flipped it, and it did land on either the heads or the tails every time, that'd be a 1 probability that it did land exactly on what we wanted it to each time. So a full chance. Okay, that was super long. I'm sorry, you guys. Have a great week. We'll see you. Bye.